What is the true definition of greatness? What does greatness mean to me? The ability to overcome obstacles put in your path, allowing you to push through something that may be holding you back, while still being able to perform at the highest level of excellence. Well, Drew Brees is a prime example of that, and in my opinion, he is a top 5, maybe even top 3 quarterback of all time. But apparently this guy don't believe that though.
I don't think he's in the conversation for top 5. He's in the conversation for top 10. And let me start by saying, congratulations, Drew Brees. I love Drew Brees like everyone loves Drew Brees. And you hate to do this segment the day after he sets the record, right?
Absolutely.
Because you don't want to be negative when a guy has, it's a moment for congratulations. But if we're talking about ranking, guys, I know he's a great guy. Like if you got to run somewhere, leave your kids somewhere, you'd be like, hey, Drew, can you watch my kid? He's that kind of guy. But is he a top 5 quarterback? Even top 10, look.
And trust me, he ain't the only one. But I ain't gonna waste no more time. Like, share, and subscribe if you're new. And if you think I'm speaking that nonsense, holla at me down in them comments, man. I'm finna tell y'all why Drew Brees deserves to be in that GOAT conversation. So shout out to them Saints fans, them Drew Brees fans, and that Who Dat Nation. Drop my intro.
It's killer raps, we got the hottest staff. In 03, I made a dynasty like Robert Kraft.
Drew Brees is the most important QB to a city in the history of the game, meaning no other quarterback meant as much to an individual city as Drew Brees did to New Orleans. But as much as Drew Brees meant to New Orleans, it only made sense for it to work the other way around as well. Remember when I spoke on overcoming obstacles? Let's speed through this real quick. We're talking about an undersized QB who tore his knee up in high school, only got recruited to 2 colleges in his senior year, wasn't a first-round draft pick, a replacement quarterback was drafted after 3 solid seasons with the Chargers, tears his labrum in the shoulder of his throwing arm in his last game as a Charger, enters free agency as damaged goods. The Dolphins medical staff gives him a physical and didn't clear him to play. He was told his shoulder was worse than anticipated and may not be able to play for 4 more years and still may not fully recover after that. So of course the Fins didn't sign him and he ends up with one of the most dysfunctional organizations of all time, whom of which the city is coming off one of the worst natural disasters in the history of mankind. Whew. Now that we got that out the way, talk about perseverance. So last Monday, Drew Brees broke the record for most career passing yards, right? A lot of sports networks started talking about where he ranks at the all-time quarterback list. The nerve of some of these analysts. A lot of them gave Brees barely cracking the top 10. My question to that is simply, how? Brees is arguably the most underrated quarterback in the history of the game, part of which comes with the fact that he played in an era with Brett Favre, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers. More notably though, Manning, Brady, and Rodgers. But what's crazy though is Brees led the league in passing 7 times, which is actually more than all 3 of those quarterbacks combined. What was Peyton Manning's strong suit when he played in the game? Accuracy, right? So if you ask most people, they would assume that he would be the most accurate quarterback, at least in his generation, right? Wrong. That belongs to Drew Brees, who broke the record for the highest completion percentage in a season with 71.2. Not to mention that same season, he also broke the record for most completions and most yards. So it's not like he was just meeting the requirements. He's actually exceeding the requirements, not being a dink and dunk quarterback. 67.2 of Drew Brees' career completion percentage. That is highest all time, ladies and gentlemen. 5,000 yards in a single season ain't something that comes around every single year. In fact, it's only been done 9 times throughout the history of the league, right? Brees is responsible for 5 of them, and no one else has done it more than 1 time. He's the fastest to reach 40, 50, and 60,000 yards. Not the youngest, the fastest. There's a difference. 11 consecutive 4,000-yard passing seasons. Most consecutive 30 TD seasons with 9 of them. This man is a dog. And you know what's funny? If I say right now, name me a QB who's known for playing with less talent while still being successful. I'm gonna give y'all time to think about that. Be honest now. I guarantee you the name that comes to mind was Tom Brady. That's cool. You could be right. I told y'all Brees threw for over 5,000 yards 5 times in his career, right? If you combine all those seasons, you get 26,092 passing yards, 2,220 completions, and 199 passing TDs in 5 years. Now, out of all of those completions, yards, and touchdowns, not one single catch was made by a Pro Bowl wide receiver. Not one. Now tell me who's doing more with less here. In the history of the game, most Hall of Fame QBs are often linked to a certain target. Montana to Rice, Marino to Duper, Manning to Harrison, Brady to Gronk, Brees to 5 seasons with Jimmy Graham? I mean, see, most of these guys mentioned are linked for at least a decade. Nope, not Drew Brees. He never had that luxury, but was still able to accomplish what most QBs could only dream of doing in an NFL career. And he showed no signs of slowing down. Manning started his decline when he was 38. Brees is currently 39, is on pace to have one of the greatest seasons of his career. Now, I'm not saying Brees is the best QB of all time. No, that title belongs to Tom Brady in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, but what's wrong with me calling him top 2 or top 3? Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, gee, all of that regular season stuff is cool, but what about the playoffs? Yes, playoff success is one of the knocks on Drew's career thus far. But have you guys ever wondered why that's the case? See, football is much different from, let's say, basketball, right? In basketball, one player can single-handedly control the outcome of a game by his ability to affect the game on both ends of the court, right? Brees can't exactly play defense. And the organization has failed when trying to put together a solid defense for Brees, unlike his peers. Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis, Ty Law, Rodney Harrison, Mel Blount, Ronnie Lott, Deion Sanders, Charles Haley, Bob Sanders, Robert Mathis, Dwight Freeney. These were some of the names that were on Super Bowl winning defenses. By the way, none of these guys are on the Saints, in case y'all ain't know. But after crunching some defensive numbers, I noticed something interesting. We'll use Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, Tom Brady, John Elway, and Joe Montana for this example, right? Pretty decent group of Super Bowl quarterbacks, right? Let's talk about the help they had on the other side of the ball during those title runs. Elway's defenses were 6th and 8th in the league in scoring defense. Favre's defense was 1st in total defense and scoring defense the year he won. Montana was 2nd, 1st, 3rd, and 8th in scoring defense when he won those 4 titles. Brady's defenses were 6th, 1st, 3rd, 8th, and 1st in scoring defense when he went through his title runs. Manning in 2014 was 4th in scoring and 1st in total defense. I hope y'all see where I'm going with this. In fact, Brees and Manning are the only 2 elite quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl without a top 10 defense. They actually met in the Super Bowl in which Brees completed a record 80% of his passes and had the 25th ranked defense in the league that season, but still managed to pull it out in historic fashion. Speaking of historic fashion, during that Super Bowl run, the Saints became the first team in history to beat 3 former Super Bowl champions in each round of the playoffs. Kurt Warner, Brett Favre, and of course Peyton Manning. Shout out to Drew Brees, man. Y'all better stop playing with this boy. Now let me ask you, honestly, am I wrong for feeling like Brees is a top 3 quarterback of all time? Am I wrong for feeling like he's been neglected due to the quarterbacks he's played against during his prime years? Winning is hard in the NFL, and it makes it even harder when you have lack of talent around you, especially on the defensive side of the ball. That explains his 7-6 record in the postseason. His defense is ranked bottom of the half in the NFL almost every single season. The best defense he had ended up getting suspended for bounty gate. And to emphasize the importance of defense, Brady has played 18 seasons, right? Put this into perspective. 14 of those 18 seasons, the Patriots finished with a top 10 defense. If Brees was that fortunate, maybe he would have been more successful in the postseason. But with a career like his, how could you deny what I'm saying? In my opinion, Drew Brees should be mentioned in at least everyone's top 5 and should definitely be able to sit at that table with the all-time greats. If you think I'm speaking that nonsense, holla at me down in them comments, man. Y'all know what to do. But anyways, that's pretty much all I got for you guys, man. My voice seems a little bit hoarse. I don't know what's going on, but I'm roll with it, baby. Hey, I love making videos like this, man. I love making videos about guys that's underrated, man, that need to get a little bit more recognition. I I love making videos about guys that are disrespected because I'm gonna bring it to the light. And I know y'all love it too, so please leave a like on this video. Even though it's long, man, I hope y'all made it to this level. If y'all made it this far, I really mess with y'all, man. Hashtag we made it in the comment section if you hear what I'm talking about right now, man. I really mess with y'all, man. I appreciate all the love I've been getting. Finally reached 100 subscribers last week, man. I appreciate all of y'all hitting that red button, man. I mess with y'all heavy. Continue to hit that button if you like what you see. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. And as always, OG out.